Hello and welcome to EMA's Health and Safety Podcast. My name is Kevin Chambers and really pleased that you've chosen to join us today. With me today, I've got Keith Robinson. And our topic today, Keith, is around de-escalation. Mm-hmm. What does that mean in a few brief sentences? What does that mean for you?
De-escalation is really helping people to reach back to their equilibrium, back to being calm again. So a lot of psychological harm is happening out there because of mental and physical aggression from members of the public, customers that feel it's okay to yell and scream or threaten physical. And so, de-escalation is around how we're going to manage that better.
Do we manage it differently if it's employee versus employee, and as opposed to customer client versus employee, or are the similar approaches?
99% of the issues that I come across are not employee to employee.
Okay.
The normal HR processes would normally manage that. It's particularly environments where we have limited control, and I see the biggest issue where we have environments where we are sending our people to environments over which we have no control, like to the homes of clients, for instance. I think a lot of medical environments will send people to people's homes to check blood pressure, or with their hospice people or SPCA or whatever. We're going to people's homes and we have no control over that environment. So it's not just the person we're going to help that is likely to cause the harm, because they are happy to see us because we're there to, on the white horse, we're here to help them out.
Provide care.
But it's the aggrieved neighbours, the aggrieved family members, particularly if they're on some form of intoxicant. But also what I'm finding is while my client is walking from their car to the house, being abused by members of the public who aren't happy with their service or see them as not providing a service that they would like.
Okay. We can't do much about those environments, or can we?
There's a chunk of stuff that we can do. So most organisations, when they're looking at de-escalation, focus on de-escalation. I like to start one step back, which is situational awareness. How can we create an environment where our people are not having to use de-escalation skills? So, for instance, if we're going to go to someone's home, then we could call beforehand and make sure that they don't have any dogs, for instance, and that's done a week in advance. But also, while we're sitting outside in our place of safety, in our car, before we even get out of our car, we're sitting outside the house, give them a call. Hi, Keith here, I'm from XY, and I'm coming for our 10 o'clock appointment, come to check your blood pressure. Is everything still okay for me to come, still okay for our appointment? And you'll hear in their voice if it isn't. Maybe there's some issue going on within the household at that time. And at that point, then we'll be saying, you said you didn't have a dog, or you got a dog, but you're going to lock it away. It's only a little dog. Yeah, you get that, but I'm not allowed to come in unless you lock the dog away. Can you please do that? Or my auntie's here with her dog. Cool, can you lock the dog away before I come in? And provided it sounds okay, then you might get out of the car.
So the employee needs to have knowledge around how to assess a particular situation before they enter that environment. Then they can make a decision about whether their safety is likely to be.
But we can go one step further
affected.
Back even and say, well, I've done my pre-assessment before I even decided to go to that house, and if I'm not sure, then I'm not going to meet at their house. I'm going to meet at a cafe or at the library or whatever. Some middle ground. Or can you come into our office? But also, where are you parking? If you park in their driveway and then an unhappy relative comes in behind you, you're now blocked in. You can't get out in a hurry. If they're in a cul-de-sac, you want to be pointing out of the cul-de-sac, not down the cul-de-sac, because if you need to get out in a hurry, that's a little bit harder. So now you've made the call. I'm comfortable to go in. Excellent. So you open the door, you get out of the car. You're still standing in the door while the car is still open. Listen. See, what we don't tend to do anymore is rely on our fight-flight mechanisms that are still programmed within us. And if it doesn't feel right, get back in the car and drive off again. But if it feels okay, there's no yelling and screaming in the neighbourhood, I'm not going to get attacked by anybody, call between now and the getting into the front door, then I'll start moving through, lock the door, So now you've locked away your place of safety, right? You're leaving your place of safety. So you do that carefully. Now you get to the gate. How easy is it to open the gate? Oh, it's a bit hard. Well, should I leave the gate not quite locked? Could I just remember how to open the door? If I need to get out of this gate quickly, how would I do that? Is there a lot of stuff, kids' toys or whatever on the footpath getting from the gate to the house? those are trip hazards for me to get out. If I'm in a hurry trying to get out, I need to be aware of those. Maybe I'll just kick them aside off the driveway a little bit while I'm walking up to the door. Now I'm at the house. Listen, sounds good. Now I'll knock on the door. And then the person will open the door. How does it feel before you take a step over the threshold? Does it feel safe to go in?
Yeah, is that person greeting you appropriately or not?
Right.
Yep.
And then they'll say, come and take a seat. Well, I don't want to sit away from the door if I possibly can.
Yep.
So I want the hard chair, the dining room chair, not the lounge. See, if you get to sit on a couch, normally you'll sink into a couch.
Yep.
And often couches are hard to get out of without two hands.
Yes.
Well, that's not the sort of chair. If I don't know the person, that's not the sort of chair I want to be sitting in. I want to be sitting in a dining room chair as close to the door as possible,
Yep.
not away from the door. I certainly don't want them between me and the door.
Yep.
Right. And this has nothing to do with de-escalation. This is all situational awareness before the issue begins.
Yep.
I'll always want my mobile phone in one pocket and my keys in the other pocket, not in my handbag. If I have to leave in a hurry, the police can get my laptop later,
Yep.
but I can't leave in a hurry without my cell phone and my keys. They've got to be in my pockets.
Okay.
And so that's before we're even talking.
So this is really eye-opening. It's a lot of things that I think most people wouldn't think about. Do you find that organisations are providing this knowledge to their staff?
No, they start at de-escalation,
Yep.
which is phase 2. Now that a person is feeling aggrieved,
Yep.
now we need to use de-escalation skills. What I'm advocating is at least a third of this is how do we not get in that situation beforehand?
Because once you're at de-escalation, the problem has occurred. We would rather either avoid the problem or manage it so that de-escalation doesn't happen.
The best time to solve a problem is before you create it.
Yep. Okay. Good. Well, look, thank you for that. So now we're in a situation where de-escalation is required. What are some of the things that people need to be thinking about?
When we think of the psychology, so the need for de-escalation tends to be because of mental and physical aggression.
Yep.
So why are they doing that? Now, this has been going on forever, but it got a lot worse over COVID.
Yep.
And the high interest rates, cost of living, that kind of stuff has meant that people are on edge more. They have a shorter wick than they had before. And a lot of people feel it's okay to be abusive.
Yep.
That has definitely changed. It wasn't like to that extent before. So why are people being unhappy? For whatever reason, well, there's two real strategies to deal with it. In the same way, and the analogy I use is a dentist. If you go in there, I've got a sore tooth. Okay, we need a filling. They don't just put the new filling on top of the old filling. They drill out the old filling first,
Yep.
and then they put the new stuff on top, right? If they put the new stuff on top of the crap foundation, it's not going to be very stable.
Okay. How does that relate then to de-escalation?
Let them speak, let them vent, let them get their toxin out first.
Yep.
Before you put the new filling in.
Okay.
Now, if a person is yelling at you, it's not you that they're yelling at, it's the uniform, it's the whatever frustration that they've got going on in their life. So we need to create an environment where they are voicing their issues. Now, most issues, I distill it down to come from they're not under control.
Yep.
They don't have the control that they would like to have.
Yep.
My cooker has broken and you say you can't send someone on Tuesday to fix my cooker. Yeah. I feel out of control. I can't cook my family a meal and I want it fixed on Tuesday and you're saying you can't come on Tuesday, right? So I'm out of control. And so we allow them to vent
So
their
let
frustration.
off some steam.
Right?
Yep.
And know that it's not you they're yelling at, it's the uniform. And
Okay.
it doesn't matter who will be on the end of the phone or who will be on the other side of the counter, they're going to vent.
Yep.
Right? And I want to encourage them to vent as safely as we can.
Yep.
And then the second part, now we've got the decay out of their mouth, now on to rebuild.
Okay.
And we rebuild by giving people choices. People like choice. I want someone to come in here on Tuesday, fix my cooker. Yep, get that. We don't have anybody available on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're just so booked at the moment. I can do Thursday afternoon or Friday morning. Which would you prefer?
Yeah.
I want Tuesday. Yeah, I understand that. And if I was in your position, I'd want Tuesday as well. Can't do Tuesday or Wednesday. Thursday morning or Friday afternoon, which would suit you?
Yeah.
I want Tuesday. Yeah, get that. Can't have that. What would you like? Giving them a choice, right? Thursday
or
morning.
Friday.
Well, I can't do Thursday. Okay, what time Friday afternoon?
Yeah.
2:00. Okay, we'll see you Friday too.
Brilliant. So by giving them a choice, they can now take some more control.
Now they've got control.
Yeah.
They vented.
Yep.
And we might empathise. Yeah, okay, I can understand why you'd be feeling grumpy. I'd be grumpy in your position as well.
Yep.
You're not agreeing that, yes, we are terrible, we all should be shot. And you're not agreeing necessarily. You're empathising. I would be grumpy in that situation as well.
Yep.
I have a choice for you. Which would you like?
Yep. That's probably easier to do over the phone, easier to do if you're in your workplace than it is to do if you're on their premises.
Yes.
Are there other ways to help me, the employee who's being abused by a client that I've come to provide a service to? So let them vent, got that. Provide them with choices, got that. But they're right in my face. What else can I do to ensure that I'm psychologically safe?
There are tools that we can use. For instance, in healthcare, we tend to use the colour orange a lot. Hey, that's a good point. I'll see if that's my orange folder. I didn't think to bring it. Then we just phone the office. Hi, office. Keith here. I need my orange folder. Can someone bring it round? Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden the office is alerted to the fact that I need someone.
That there's an issue.
And I'm in need of support.
Yep. Okay.
There are a growing amount of organisations that have panic alarms.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of further down the track. The first thing is, how do we not be in that position?
Yep.
And can we colour code the properties? This is a greenhouse, which means any one of us can go on their own. It's an orange house, you have to go with a colleague. It's a red house, you have to go with the police.
Yep.
Right? So you can colour code properties. That's the situational awareness sort of stuff and how you park and the rest of it.
Yep.
Now the people are aggressive, we try that, and then the last part of the leg to the stool is resilience. Know that crap will happen.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how good you are, bad stuff will happen. You're going to get to your car and there's a flat tire and it's raining.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do about that, right? Crap will happen no matter how good you are. And so the resilience part is, when crap happens to you, how do we get you so you can bounce back faster? Mm-hmm. Now, I was in one organisation where they said our receptionists never last, just because they get abused by members of the public a lot when they turn up. And they're constantly getting, and so we're constantly losing. And I said, well, explain to me about the recruitment process. How do you recruit your receptionist? And they admitted that they don't tell them how bad the job gets, because otherwise no one would join them.
Okay.
And I'm saying you need to do the opposite. You need to hire people that you know can cope with that. Their job is this aggressive.
Yeah.
You think if you're on the call centre particularly, and people get even more abusive over the phone than they do visually, generally, because they feel anonymity. If you're on the call centres and a nasty person phones, or someone phones about an insurance claim or whatever that hasn't gone through, they get abuse. Person deals with that, they hang up, next phone call. It's never someone phoning up to say, hey, thanks for that, you did a really good job, I love your company. It's somebody else giving you abuse.
Yep.
And then you finish with that call, and then you get another one 20, 30, 40 times a day. And then what about tomorrow? Same, right? And so we need to teach these people, crap will happen to you, that's the job.
Yep.
How do we teach you the tools so that you can bounce back better, stronger as a result?
Is it possible to create space between the crap moments? So I think the call centre example that you gave there is a very good one, because they're constantly on the phone. So is it possible, perhaps there has been an abusive person over the phone or even in person, is it possible then for an organisation to create some space for that employee so that they can reset?
Yeah, having that supervision, it's often called,
yep.
Just where you can take time out for yourself and just have a walk around and yell and scream and swear a little bit. If that's what you need to do, then you need to vent. You are a human as well,
yep.
And you're allowed to be a human, right?
Yep.
We're not hiring a robot.
No.
We're hiring a human, and therefore this will affect you from time to time, and that's just fine. A lot of employers struggle with giving that time, which is a shame.
Yep.
There's a short-term focus, but yeah, we need to do whatever it is because this is not just a one-time gig, right? The abuse might come quite frequently. I've had nurses on my courses in tears because of the frequent abuse they get.
Yep.
And it's not so much from the patients, although it is sometimes. It's visiting relatives.
Yep.
How come you're not fixing my auntie? Kind of stuff. And yelling and abusing.
And this could be several times a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Several times a day.
And where's the space for
There's
them
no space, because they're rushing from one problem to another.
Yeah.
And then it goes one step further, and they say when they go home and the spouse says, how was your day today, dear? They can't tell them, because the spouse doesn't understand. They don't want to bring down the environment at home.
Yep.
So they can't tell how they feel. And that leads to another ailment called compassion fatigue, which is nice, warm, caring people who constantly get abused, and therefore they're not taught resilience capability, and therefore they start to withdraw emotionally from society. Stop laughing, stop going out, all sorts of stuff. And I've seen several examples of that. And we don't teach compassion fatigue, which is a crazy thing.
So tell me a bit more about then resilience. What sort of training would we provide the person there?
Well, the first thing to know is crap will happen to you.
Yep.
And it's not your fault.
It's not about you.
It's not about you.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter who was sitting there.
Yep.
Who was on the end of the phone, who's wearing that uniform. They were going to get abused because it's their issue, not your issue. Don't buy into their issue, right? Be empathic, do what you can. But it's not you. And here's the thing, it's not your problem. It's still their problem.
Yep.
Right? They might be trying to make it your problem, but it's not your problem.
Yep.
Do what you can to help them with their problem, but it's their problem, not your problem. Let it go.
So that's a good mindset to have.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And so, okay, I'll do what I can. I need it here on Tuesday. Yeah, get that. We can have someone on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I need it. Yeah, sorry. It's still their problem, right?
Yeah.
I don't have anybody on Tuesday. I can do Thursday morning or afternoon, but I can't do Tuesday. It's their problem. It's not your problem to solve. Do what you can with the resources that you've got, which often isn't very much either.
So resilience training would involve then the person realising that they did what they could.
Absolutely.
So realising that it's not about them, it's not their problem, it's the other person's, the client, it's their problem. They have an obligation to assist if they can, but if they can't, then again, they don't need to wear that on their shoulders so much.
Yeah, go home and do what you need to do. Leave it at work. And that's a good physical. This issue stops at my desk.
Yeah.
It doesn't come into the car with me.
Some people find that very hard.
Or it stays in the car. It doesn't come out of the car, right? And when I pick it up, I used to live in Wonga Pro, and when I went onto the peninsula, work stopped. And when I got off the peninsula, I picked work up again.
Yeah.
So my work was never on Wonga Pro Peninsula. There was a physical barrier that I could use, but some form of resilience it stops there. It starts here. This is me life. That's me work. It's
and some people find that difficult.
It is not easy. It requires some mental games, but only you can manage your own head, right?
Yep.
Now there are some physical things we can do within a workplace. I was in one organisation, and the bench that was separating the aggressive clients from the staff, and it's a physical environment, was narrower than the length of an arm.
Yes.
And I said, no, you don't need like the old banks where the bars and stuff, but you just need the bench to be a metre wide almost. And so now you feel secure. They can't reach you in if they want to.
Yep.
And if you take half a step back, then they can't even reach you with their leg.
Yep.
And don't have the bench at waist height, which it was.
Yep.
Have it
chest height.
Yeah, a little bit lower than chest, right?
Yep.
And so now they physically can't get to you, but it doesn't look too institutional.
Yeah.
Another organisation, they would say, follow me into the waiting room, into the meeting room, and we'll go in there because the person's a bit yelling and screaming at reception. Follow me into the meeting room, we'll have a one-on-one. And I go, no, never follow you, because now they're behind you, and you're going to go into the meeting room, they're going to sit between you and the door. No, well, let's go to meeting room 1, I'll follow you in.
Yeah, yeah.
So now they go and you're following them.
Yeah, and you're closer to the door than they are.
By the door, which is where the button is. And
if it's phone call, then there's always the hold button.
Let me put you on hold while I'm trying to find that out for you, right?
Yep.
Sorry for waiting, and play some music.
Yep.
Or, let me give you a call back.
Yep.
And often that gives them time to calm down, gives the customer time to calm down a bit as well.
Yep.
Hey, I understand what your situation is. Let me go away and try and work out a remedy. I'll give you a call back.
Yep.
And then the person feels understood, they've calmed down, and now you're coming back with not to hear their problem situation, but on the white horse, here to fix it. And normally it would start off that second call with, so what you're telling me is this and this, and what's upsetting you is this and this. Yeah, that's correct. So now they feel understood.
Yep.
Now I'm in with the solutions.
Nice. This feels a little bit like a therapy session, which is a good thing. I wonder if organisations are aware, even if they need de-escalation training, or they need to provide it for their staff. So if I sort of summarise a little bit, first step is being aware that your staff are being put into situations like these, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in person, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in a client's premises or a client's home. Need to have a sense of awareness that there are situations that are happening, and this is creating psychosocial stress for your staff. Once you've established that, look, there is stuff happening, it's happening more regularly than we would want. First step is teaching your staff around situational awareness. I loved this story you told about, park your car, listen, turn off the engine, get out to the door of the car, listen again, go to the gate, listen again, also look at the pathway up to the front door. Are there toys there? Is the gate easily able to be opened? I thought that was really, really great. Knock on the door, listen. In fact, before you knock on the door, listen. Observe how the person is greeting you. But even before that, let them know you're coming.
Yep.
Let them know you've arrived before you go in.
Is it still okay for me to come in? I'm sitting outside.
Absolutely.
No, it isn't. Okay, can we make it Tuesday?
I'll come back later. Yeah.
Make it Tuesday next week.
And then the second part was the de-escalation. How do we help the person who's abusing us? How do we help them calm down? Step number one is let them get it out. Let them get it out of their system. Let them let off their steam. Try to focus on the fact that it's not about you. It's not aimed at you. It's the uniform. It's the service or whatever. And then provide them with some choices.
Absolutely.
Because that enables them to regain some control.
That's all they want. Yep. They just want control.
They do, yeah. And then, assuming that that's all gone well, you've completed your visit, you've provided your service, then an element of resilience training. It's not about me. It's their problem. It's not my problem to solve, but if I can assist, I should and I will. And stay calm. Look after yourself. If you can find a little bit of space, take that space to get your equilibrium back, and clearly make your employer know that the situation has happened, so that we can avoid it in the future if we can. Final thing I got out of our chat, and thank you, it's been a really interesting chat, was the orange folder. I like that. I liked how you talked about greenhouses, orange houses, and red houses. We could use the same analogy. It could be a green customer, an orange customer,
Absolutely.
a red customer. And green was you can go in there by yourself, or you can engage with this customer by yourself. Orange means that you need to have a person with you, a buddy, a supervisor with you.
Yep.
And red, I think in your case you said red was, well, no, you need the authorities.
Yep.
And ultimately what we're trying to achieve here is a good outcome for the client, and as important, if not even more importantly, we're trying to achieve a psychosocially safe workplace for the employee.
So the only other point was on the resilience is no crap will happen.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
It will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if it happens.
Yep.
Don't be upset that it happens. It's part of the role.
Yeah.
Right? And you've accepted the job knowing crap will happen.
Yep.
Right? If you're a nurse and you're in a hospital, people will die.
Yep.
Don't be upset when they die. Don't be surprised when people die, really. But it will happen. That's part of the role, right? Yeah. It's a horrible part of the role, but it's a part of the role. People will get abusive. Doesn't matter how good you are. You don't know what's going on in their world and what's happening behind the scenes, right? You just can never know. So just know that crap will happen,
yep.
And then your training kicks in. But that's the paradigm.
It is. Thank you very much for your time today, Keith. Really, really appreciated it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed this podcast around de-escalation. I certainly found it very, very interesting and quite enlightening. We really appreciate you joining us today. We hope to see you again in the future. In the meantime, my name's Kevin Chambers. This is the EMA Health and Safety Podcast. See you soon. And until then, stay safe. Bye-bye.